screenfiles.com. Zombie movies don't tend to be deep movies for the most part. I mean, you have George Romero's zombie movies, which were more than, there's a subtext to them. Oftentimes, rich versus poor, even racial subtexts, depending on how you interpret them, to some of his zombie movies. So there was a lot going on with those particular movies. But typically speaking, zombie movies tend to not have much in the way of subtext. It tends to be what you see. Namely, dead are trying to eat the living. This is it. And for a lot of people, and myself included, that's enough. That works. But I find myself missing a zombie movie that's trying to be a little more, that's trying to be a little more ambitious than what they typically are. I mean, let's look at, you have The Walking Dead. Again, it is what it is. Zombies eating people. It's dramatic, it's gory, but it's not doing much more than that. And for the most part, nor is it trying to. That's not its goal at all. You have X Nation, which is from the Asylum, which I've only seen a few episodes of because it's from the Asylum. They do terrible television on the whole, so I tend to avoid it if I even know they're connected to it. So the zombie as a metaphor for our current conditions outside of George Romero isn't used all that much until Santa Clarita Diet, which is fun. But the thing is, it's using zombieism as a story about family. What you do for family, how far you go for your family, and how to care for each other under the most trying conditions. It's more, in the instance of the Santa Clarita Diet, it's a case of a husband, played by Timothy Oliphant, trying to help his wife, who's played by Drew Barrymore, who he truly loves, navigate being undead. She requires flesh. He loves her so much that he's willing to murder to feed her appetites. And it shows how the bonds of their marriage. It's not an easy one, but he does it just the same. And Timothy Oliphant's performance, I think, is worth mentioning because I think he's an underrated actor. You see him feel very uncertain about what he has to do for his wife to live, but he knows there's no other way around it. But he's not at all keen on the idea, and he kind of just represses it, and it comes out in some very funny moments. This whole family dynamic of, as I mentioned earlier, coping with the unknown and the bizarre and the strange is the glue that holds it together. You could actually take that zombie aspect and replace it with vampirism or lycanthropy or any other ailment, and it would work because Drew Barrymore's character being a zombie is only secondary to them coping as a family and them letting the BS go and just loving each other for who they are. I mean, it's fascinating stuff, very well done, and a lot of fun. I've already finished the first season on Netflix, and I can't wait for the second because it's easy to watch. There are gory moments, but it's not about the gore, and as is the case with something like The Walking Dead. That's only one aspect of it. The more important aspects are the family coping with this condition and just doing the best they can to navigate these really treacherous waters. Santa Clarita Diet is fun, it's addictive television, and if you like zombies, you're a little tired of the intensity of The Walking Dead, you might want to give it a try. It's Brian from screenfiles.com. Good night.